Hey guys, SlimKirby back for more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. In this video, we will not only, well, I guess we will complete the chapter. That's really the only thing of major interest in this video. But for those of you who are interested, this will also feature the promotion of Rice. So yeah, we have two things to look forward to: the end of this chapter and our first bishop, our first and only bishop, actually. That's right, you won't get another unit like Rice in the game. And as you can see, we got a silence staff from that treasure chest. What silence does is it's a long-range staff that can actually affect enemy units, although it doesn't actually do damage to them. What silence does is if you use it against a enemy magic user, that's tomes and staffs included, depending on, I want to say, your enemy's resistance rate. I think that's the correct stat, but if a magic user has a low resistance rate, it has a better chance of actually working against them. And if the silent staff does indeed hit an enemy or work against an enemy, it will make the magic unit unable to attack or use staffs for that matter. So it's a very handy item, but I really don't make very much use of those items because even though what they're used for is actually a somewhat good purpose, it's very, very difficult to actually land that hit that you want on them, just because most magic users generally have a good resistance stat already. So it'll be pretty hard to hit a unit with high resistance, which is usually the unit you have to worry about. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. It just renders magic units pretty much useless. They can't use tomes or staves until they are completely, I guess not really healed, but when their silence passes. There are also a few other staves that can also do some other things. I believe there's also a sleep staff, and actually I think that's it. I don't think there are actually that many staves in this game. Now, in games like, in some of the other Fire Emblem games, there's some other staves, like the the Berserk staff, which can actually force enemies into attacking their own allies. But I really won't go into that since there isn't a Berserk staff in this game. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, I lost footage right there, but I managed to come back just in time for Rice's promotion. Bishop. So yeah, he doesn't gain that many stats. Rice is still pretty weak defensively when defending from physical attacks, and then also his speed, even though it's significantly better, it's still nothing to really, get excited about. It's still pretty low. And one thing about light magic, I don't think it's true. I'm not sure if it's true so much in this game, but in Radiant Dawn, there are very rarely any light magic attacks that can critical opponents. Now, I don't know if that's true for this game or just Radiant Dawn, but generally, light magic does have a pretty low chance of landing a critical hit. Well, at least in this game. It might not even have a critical hit percentage at all, but that's just, how it works. I thought I'd just go into detail and explain that. But right now, I believe we have 2 light magic spells, but I am unsure if Rise could actually use either of them right now. So we'll have to get some light tomes. And when I say light tomes, I mean the original light tome, the first light tome, the one that's E-ranked. And then I'll see if I can raise his weapon level up quite a bit, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to raise it very high, but I'll see what I can do. And with that out of the way, I think I can go ahead and keep going. As you can see, we have some cavaliers, or cavalry, and then also some raven lagoos to worry about right here. Nothing too difficult, just kind of form a wall right here and wait until all the other units are dead. And then after we get rid of these cavaliers, we can move forward and try to lure out the boss and see if we can destroy him. I have quite a few units that would be very effective against the boss. The boss is wielding I don't know which weapon rank the actual tome is, but he is wielding a tornado tome. I don't know if that's C or B or maybe even A, but I don't think it's A. I think it's C. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know for sure. We'll just find out later anyways. But yeah, you probably want to give that to Soren as soon as his magic increases. Right now, Soren's magic levels are kind of disappointing, in my opinion, because he can't really do that much. Like, I think last time I checked, his wind weapon level was only at C, which is kind of disappointing, especially for a sage right now. I'll have to maybe use some of the arm scrolls on Soren just to get him caught up. But I don't know if I sold those arm scrolls or not. Hopefully I didn't, because that would suck if I did. But we'll see what happens. Just gonna heal Gautry really quickly. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we don't have to worry about those ravens attacking us, so I'll go ahead and kind of start making a little wall right here so I can prevent the boss from getting too far. I'm kind of hoping that he'll either attack Soren or Nephany. Kind of hoping Nephany, but since the boss is probably aware that Nephany could kill him easily, he's probably not going to attack Nephany. He's probably going to go after Soren, even though he'll barely do any damage against Soren. And now you will realize the true power of Daein. I'm unsure what skill he has right now. I didn't check. But I imagine it's, I don't know, somewhat lethal. I don't know. That's something else about this game. In Radiant Dawn, they don't try to give too many bosses skills. It really depends on what kind of boss you're facing. Like if you're facing a boss you'd fight later on in the game, then yeah, they'd attach a skill to it. But the majority of the bosses don't have skills. And in this game, I mean, fighting a boss with a skill this early on, I wouldn't say that's really impressive, but it is kind of unique considering that we're just barely halfway through the game. We still have about 10 or 11 chapters left. And I'll go ahead and use Physic again, even though it's not going to be very useful right there. Oh well, it did some healing to an extent. I'm going to go ahead and just attack this Raven with Boyd's Iron Bow. He didn't kill him like I thought he would, but no big deal. Ooh, Boyd's at level 3 and got skill and HP. That's one thing about warriors. Warriors will usually max their HP, and I believe the max is at 60. It's either 60 or 65, but I'm pretty sure it's 60. But yeah, we went ahead and took care of the boss. Ike should gain quite a bit of experience, and he also gains the tornado spell. Once again, I didn't check and see what level it was, but I'll just do that later on. That's probably one of the weapons Soren's going to wield in the final chapter. Or maybe before that, depending on how high he can get his weapon level. But we'll see what happens. And then I'm also going to use Volk a little bit, because even though he won't promote after this chapter, I think he actually does promote after the 19th chapter. So you want to make sure he gets to level 20 by chapter 19, or the end of chapter 19. It's either the end of 19 or the end of 20. I don't remember for sure. I think it might actually be the end of 20. But again, I'm not completely sure. I haven't played this game in a long time, so we'll see what happens. Nephany went ahead and got a critical hit there. Thank you, Nephany. I reckon you did good. Wow, Nephany's already at level 5. I might have to calm down on using her for a bit. She's doing a pretty good job, but I don't know. I probably need to start worrying about some of my other units. And I think after I finish off this Raven, I'm going to go ahead and just end the chapter. Or end the video, for that matter. And then I'll just show the rest of the cutscene, or all the cutscenes in the next video. So you have the option to skip them. But anyways, this is SlimKirby. Let's play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. See you guys next time for the next video. Later, guys.